Europe is facing a crisis unlike anything before. Once symbols of stability, many countries now struggle with economic collapse, political chaos, and rising social unrest. Over the last decade, immigration-related tensions in Western Europe have jumped by 35%, while economic downturns are fueling a mass exodus in certain regions. Skyrocketing housing prices, failing economies, and aging populations are pushing these nations to the brink. Shockingly, even experts didn't see it coming. Are these countries truly at risk of collapsing, or is there still hope for recovery? In this video, we uncover the top 10 European countries on the edge of collapse and reveal the unexpected reasons why. Don't miss the truth behind Europe's struggles. Hit subscribe and stick around as we dive into the countdown. Number 10. Ireland. Housing is one of Ireland's biggest crises. In 2023, average rents in Dublin hit record highs, with national rates rising over 14%. The country now faces a shortfall of nearly 250,000 homes, making affordable housing nearly impossible to find. From Dublin to Cork, securing a rental feels like winning the lottery, but the prize is just a roof over your head. Ireland's social landscape is also changing. With 12% of the population now foreign-born, immigration has brought both diversity and challenges. While the cultural mix adds richness, integrating new communities into a traditionally homogeneous society has sparked debates on balancing tradition and modern multiculturalism. Meanwhile, Ireland's healthcare system is buckling under pressure. In 2023, average wait times for elective surgeries hit nearly 200 days, among the longest in Europe. Emergency departments are overstretched, and growing demand has exposed cracks in the system. These issues highlight that even a country as beloved as Ireland is not immune to collapse. Can it overcome these struggles, or will the problems keep building? Stay tuned as we continue counting down Europe's fastest collapsing countries. Number 9. Germany. Germany, once Europe's economic powerhouse, is now facing serious challenges that threaten its stability. Energy costs have surged by 30% in recent years, according to the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs. While Germany's push toward renewable energy is ambitious, it has led to inconsistent and expensive power supply, putting strain on both industries and households. Germany's aging population is another major concern. Over 21% of Germans are now over 65, and with low birth rates, the workforce is shrinking rapidly. A looming retirement wave is leaving key positions unfilled, adding pressure to an already strained economy. At the same time, immigration is reshaping the country. Around 28.7% of residents now have a migration background, boosting workforce numbers but also sparking debates over integration, social services, and cultural balance. Germany's key industries, automotive, engineering, and chemicals, are also under pressure. Increasing global competition and rapid technological advances have left some sectors struggling to keep up. A nation once known for innovation now faces the challenge of staying relevant in a fast-changing world. Number 8. Netherlands. The Netherlands, known for its iconic canals, windmills, and stunning landscapes, is facing unexpected challenges that landed on our list of Europe's fastest collapsing nations. One of the country's most pressing problems is a severe housing shortage. The Dutch Ministry of the Interior reports a shortfall of nearly 315,000 homes, and this gap is only expected to widen. With limited land and a growing population, it's like trying to play Tetris in a game you can't win. As a result, housing prices have soared. In 2022, home prices in Amsterdam surged by nearly 20%, making the city one of Europe's most expensive for renters and buyers. For many, affordable housing is no longer a reality. Immigration is another significant factor reshaping the Netherlands. Around 27% of the population has a migration background, enriching the country's culture, but also adding complexity to its social structure. While immigration helps fill gaps in the labor market, it increases competition for jobs and places, added pressure on already stretched social services. Questions around cultural identity and social cohesion are becoming harder to ignore. On the economic front, the labor market faces challenges. With an aging population and a demand for skilled workers, talent shortages are driving wages up. The Dutch Central Bank reported wage growth hit nearly 5% in 2023. While this sounds promising, Rising wages are driving up costs for businesses and consumers, leaving smaller companies struggling to survive. The Netherlands serves as a stark reminder that even a highly regarded nation can face structural problems requiring bold solutions. Number 7. Belgium. At the heart of the problem is political fragmentation. Belgium is split between Dutch-speaking Flanders in the north and French-speaking Wallonia in the south, each with its own government. This divide has led to a gridlocked system where decision-making feels impossible. The Belgian Federal Public Service highlights that Belgium once went a record 541 days without an official government, a political coffee break with real-world consequences. Economic inequality adds to the strain. Flanders enjoys low unemployment, while Wallonia struggles with persistently high jobless rates, exposing sharp regional divides. The Belgian National Bank reports that public debt has now surpassed 100% of GDP, raising fears about whether Belgium's generous social welfare programs, from healthcare to pensions, are sustainable in the long term. Adding to this mix is Belgium's growing diversity. Eurostat reveals that 19% of the population was born abroad. While immigration has enriched the culture, it also poses challenges for integration and social cohesion, creating tension within an already fragmented society. Belgium's story is a warning of how political gridlock, economic divides, and integration issues can destabilize even a nation with so much to offer. Number 6. Portugal. Portugal, famous for its explorers, port wine, and fado music, is now facing profound challenges. At the forefront is public debt, which stands at 120% of GDP, one of the highest in Europe, according to the IMF. This massive debt limits government spending on critical sectors and leaves little room to handle economic shocks. Slow wage growth is another pressing issue. Eurostat reports Portuguese wages remain far below the EU average, forcing many young professionals to seek better opportunities abroad. This brain drain is shrinking the country's talent pool and weakening its workforce. Portugal's aging population adds further strain. Nearly 25% of its people are over 65, while birth rates remain low, creating a shrinking workforce that struggles to support retirees. Healthcare and social security systems are feeling the pressure, with experts warning of a pensions time bomb. Meanwhile, Portugal's growing immigrant population, 1.4 million residents, brings cultural diversity but also integration challenges, particularly during economic struggles. Number 5. United Kingdom. At the heart of the issue is the cost of living crisis. Inflation has soared to a 40-year high, with the Consumer Price Index exceeding 10%, according to the Office for National Statistics. Rising prices for essentials like food and fuel have forced 52% of Brits to cut back just to make ends meet. Meanwhile, wage growth has failed to keep up. The Bank of England reports wages are stagnating at around 2%, widening the gap between income and expenses and leaving households under immense pressure. Adding to this is political instability. Brexit, frequent leadership changes, and regional tensions have created uncertainty. Scotland and Northern Ireland's push for autonomy raises questions about the unity of the United Kingdom itself. Finally, the UK's diverse population, with 16% born abroad, highlights both cultural richness and integration challenges, particularly during economic strain. The UK's struggles show how even a nation with a strong global legacy can face tough times. Number 4. France. Social unrest is at the forefront. Movements like the Yellow Vests have drawn nearly 500,000 protesters, according to France's Ministry of the Interior, reflecting frustration over economic inequality, rising living costs, and political discontent. Unemployment, especially among youth, is another major concern. While the national rate hovers around 7%, INSEE 2023, youth unemployment impacts nearly 20% of those under 25. France's rigid labor market makes it tough for young people to secure jobs and businesses to expand, creating a tug-of-war between reforms and traditional protections. The aging population adds further strain. With over 20% of citizens above 65, the pension system is on track for a 10 billion EUR deficit by 2030, according to the Ministry of Finance. Efforts to raise the retirement age have sparked fierce protests nationwide. France's diverse population, with 8.7 million residents born abroad, Eurostat, enriches the nation, but also brings challenges of integration and social cohesion, particularly within immigrant communities. Number 3. Italy. At the core is economic stagnation. Italy's GDP growth has averaged below 1% since 2010, according to OECD 2023. To make matters worse, public debt has soared to 145% of GDP, Eurostat, one of the highest in Europe. This massive debt limits government spending, leaving little room for investment in infrastructure, job creation, or innovation. Another pressing issue is Italy's aging population, with over 23% of citizens aged 65 and older, ISTAT. The country faces mounting pressure on its pension and healthcare systems. While older generations rely heavily on these safety nets, younger Italians struggle to find jobs, fueling debates about long-term sustainability. Immigration has also become a defining challenge. Around 5.3 million people in Italy have an immigrant background. ISTAT. Immigrants play key roles in agriculture and domestic work, but cultural differences and economic hardships test social cohesion, making integration a delicate balancing act. Finally, Italy's healthcare system reveals stark regional inequalities. The Ministry of Health reports that waiting times for specialized care can be 20% longer in the south compared to northern regions, exposing the country's internal disparities. Number 2. Sweden. Sweden is famous for its social welfare, beautiful design, and stunning nature. However, immigration and integration are major concerns. Over the past 2 decades, Sweden has welcomed a wave of immigrants, with 19.1% of the population born abroad. Statistics Sweden. While this diversity enriches society, integration hasn't been smooth. Sweden's job market demands specialized skills and advanced language proficiency, making it tough for newcomers to find work. According to the Swedish Migration Agency, unemployment rates for foreign-born residents are nearly double those of native Swedes. Sweden also faces a housing crisis. The National Board of Housing estimates the country needs over 500,000 new homes to meet demand. Urban hubs like Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö struggle to provide affordable housing. As competition intensifies, rents skyrocket, leaving many stuck on waiting lists for years or paying steep prices for tiny apartments, about the size of a Fika cafe. Adding to the strain is a rise in gang-related violence. The Swedish National Council for Crime Prevention reports a surge in gun violence over the last 5 years, shaking Sweden's peaceful image. Concerns over safety and social cohesion have sparked intense debates on law enforcement and social policy. And finally, Greece. Greece, the cradle of democracy and philosophy, is facing challenges that place it among Europe's fastest collapsing nations. The economic crisis that began in 2008 hit Greece harder than most. Today, its public debt sits at a staggering 177% of GDP, the highest in the EU, Eurostat. Despite austerity, bailouts, and reforms, this debt still drags down the economy. It's like running a marathon with a ball and chain that just won't come off. Unemployment is another lingering problem. Though it's improved, the jobless rate remains around 12%, with youth unemployment surpassing 30%, Hellenic Statistical Authority. Thousands of young, educated Greeks have left for better opportunities in countries like Germany, the UK, and the US. This brain drain has drained Greece of talent, leaving the workforce struggling to recover. Greece's aging population adds to the strain. With one of Europe's oldest populations, pensions eat up 17% of GDP, Greek Ministry of Finance. As the number of working-age citizens shrinks, sustaining pensions and healthcare is becoming a ticking time bomb for the economy. Finally, immigration remains a challenge. With 1.4 million residents of immigrant background, Greece faces pressure on social services and integration efforts. Balancing this cultural mix while managing limited resources is testing the country's social stability. And that concludes our look at the top 10 fastest collapsing European countries. These nations, once seen as strong and resilient, remind us of a powerful lesson. No country is invincible. Economic struggles, political instability, and social challenges can affect even the most admired places. The key takeaway? Change is constant, and stability is never guaranteed. For citizens, leaders, and societies, It's a wake-up call to stay adaptable, work towards sustainable solutions, and never take prosperity for granted. Challenges, while difficult, also offer opportunities to rebuild, reform, and innovate. If you found this exploration insightful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Share your thoughts in the comments. What lessons did you take from these stories?
The U.S.-Mexico border is witnessing a massive surge of migrants attempting to cross into the United States. Thousands have gathered at key entry points, creating intense pressure on border security forces. In response, U.S. law enforcement and military units have been deployed to control the situation and prevent unauthorized crossings.
Shows Border Patrol agents shut down an
Dramatic scenes have unfolded as Border Patrol agents and National Guard troops work to manage the growing crowds. Some migrants, desperate to enter, have clashed with officers, leading to tense standoffs. Authorities have reinforced border barriers using vehicles and additional fencing to prevent breaches.
There's a
In one intense moment captured on video, a group of migrants attempted to push past barriers, prompting U.S. military and Border Patrol agents to take immediate action. Officers in riot gear were seen using non-lethal force to disperse the crowd. The footage shows soldiers and border agents forming defensive lines as migrants shout and push forward.
We were surprised to see the number of people coming through from China, nearly 7,000 miles away. Careful, watch. Our cameras, and at one point, this armed Border Patrol agent standing 25 feet away, did not deter them. So, how old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
This man, a college graduate, told us he hoped to find work in Los Angeles. He said his trip from China took 40 days. What countries did you go through?
Thailand, Morocco, Ecuador, Colombia, Panama.
Chaos as hundreds of migrants storm the U.S. border in an attempt to cross at.
Ahí va la del bebé. La bebé, sí. Este es video. Desde ahí hacemos screenshot para foto. Ahí va la del bebé. La bebé, sí.
Some individuals were seen throwing objects, leading to a stronger response from the Philippines. The U.S.S. government has reiterated that while legal asylum seekers are welcome to apply through official channels,
as
unlawful
hundreds of
entry will
migrants
not be
storm
tolerated.
the U.S. border in an attempt to cross at.
I will end the practice of catch and release. All illegal entry will immediately be halted of our country.
CBP officials that there were a number, several
Bridge as a large group of migrants tries to cross from Mexico.
overwhelmed a number of Texas National Guard soldiers. Several months, and what happened several hours ago is that we were told
As tensions rise, officials are bracing for further surges in migrant numbers. Many asylum seekers claim they are fleeing violence and poverty, while others are seeking economic opportunities. Tensions are boiling over in Mexico as thousands take to the streets to protest the ongoing border crisis between the U.S. and Mexico. Demonstrators, including migrants, activists, and local residents, are demanding immediate action from both governments as border restrictions tighten and migrant camps grow overcrowded.